Hey there, students. My name is Nathan, and I am a tutor for Chegg Tutoring. Today we're going to be talking about contingent liabilities. Now the word contingent, it just means reliant on a future event. So that future event is going to determine if you're going to recognize that liability or not. Now a liability, that's just something that you owe. It's an obligation. Now, for a contingent liability to be recognized, it must meet a few different criteria. So on the left here, I'm going to be talking about the definition of it, how it works, and on the right side here, I have a little practice problem so you can apply your knowledge. Now, like I was saying, if a company is facing a potential obligation that must be fulfilled at a future date, they might have to record a liability in the present period. But to record that liability, it must meet two very essential criteria. The first one is the event must be probable. Now, probable usually means more than 50% likely. So, more likely than not, it will occur. That's what probable is in accounting. And second, the amount of the liability can be reasonably estimated. So the actual monetary value can be reasonably estimated at that time. If it meets those two criteria, you're most likely have to go ahead and record that liability in the present period. Here's some examples here. A pending lawsuit and warranty claims. Now, if the event is not probable, let's say it's what they call remote, so it's very unlikely to occur, you don't recognize any type of liability. You just go ahead and disclose it in the financial statements. Now sometimes you don't even have to do that. So if it's very remote and very unlikely to happen, a lot of times they don't even disclose it. But if it is likely to happen, but it's not probable, so not more than 50%, usually that is disclosed in the financial statements. However, if it is probable, more than 50% likely to happen, and there is a reasonable estimate of the liability, then you must recognize that. And usually they use a journal entry to recognize that. So let's take a look at a problem and you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. So in the practice problem, on November 28th, 2014, Apple Incorporated entered into a lawsuit with Microchips LLC over a potential copyright infringement. Microchips, they're seeking about a $3.5 million settlement to be decided in March of 2015. Apple Incorporated feels the settlement is probable, so it's most likely going to happen. On what date should Apple Inc. recognize this liability and for how much? Journalize your answer below. So here we have a little journal entry we're going to write in. Since Apple feels it is probable, that meets the first criteria, and the amount, it is reasonably estimated. So it meets both criteria, so they do need to recognize this in the present period. So they will record this on November 28th. Here's the journal entry here. They're going to go ahead and debit a legal expense for $3.5 million. And they're going to go ahead and credit an accrued liability. So that was on November 28th because they believe that is going to be contingent on the outcome here of this settlement. They believe it's probable it's going to happen and they can reasonably estimate the amount. Now, when March 15th rolls around, what they'll do then, when the settlement takes place, they're just going to go ahead and reverse out their liability for that $3.5 million, and they're going to go ahead and credit their cash. And that's it. So again, once again, it must be probable and it must be reasonably estimated. So it must be reasonably estimated. That's very important. If they don't have an estimation of what it's going to cost, they can't record anything. And that's how it goes. So, hopefully that was helpful for y'all today. If you're looking for more one-on-one tutoring with me, just have a few questions, or you want to go over some homework, or maybe you want to prep for an exam, here's my link right here. I go by Nathan G on Chegg Tutoring. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.